Hi everybody, it's Julie and welcome back to another Hello Monday video. I thought it would be really fun to create this general everyday greeting card with the cityscape, and it could be used for Valentine's Day though too, because it has that cute little heart up there in the speech bubble. And I'm going to die cut all of my pieces at one time because these dies are narrow enough I can fit them all onto my plate on my Big Shot and send them through all at the same time. And I'm using gray for the detailed die and yellow for the solid version, and then some white of course for the speech bubble. And I'm really glad that Dave at Memory Box thought to create a solid version of his cityscape, and I'm just going to punch that out with the a little pin there in the ejection hole. Sometimes they fall out and sometimes they need a little bit of help, and I also use washi tape when I'm running my dies through my machine because I don't like anything to shift, and sometimes when I when I'm working really fast and zipping them through the machine they slip a little bit. So I just need to keep those in place, and I'm going to poke out that die. This one's going to take a little bit more to get it out of the die because it is detailed and intricate. And then once I have that popped out, got to use my little pin there really quick, I can take a look at the die cut shape itself, and I noticed that it had a few of the little windows still stuck in there, so I had to kind of take my pin and I flicked them out. Sometimes you can flick them out, but there are a couple that are just need a little bit more encouragement to fall out of the die. So now we're ready to go, and I want to mount this one over the top. And you'll notice that the solid, it was in yellow because I wanted to light up the windows in the cityscape. So I'm going to use the Zig two-way glue pen. It has some pump action to get the glue flowing down into the chisel nib, and I like this pen for adhering these layers together because it can get into some of those smaller spots that would be hard to do with an adhesive runner and get that securely mounted. So I'm just going to lay that one over the top, and you can see they line up perfectly, which I think is so cool. Makes it very easy to use these together. And then I'm going to go ahead and score my card, and I've been using my Martha mini scoreboard a lot. I have the big one too, and I love it for box making, but for cards this is just really slick to keep right on my desk on my work surface there. And then I always like to burnish that crease line with my Teflon bone folder so that I don't have any shine, and I love a smooth crisp fold line, and that's why I like to use that bone folder there. You don't have to, but I just think it really makes a nice finish on your card. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use some Glue Glider Pro to mount that whole thing right to the front of the card. So I'm creating this kind of scenic effect. This is fun. It's fun to use these dies to create these scenic designs. And then I could have used alphabet stamps, but I just spelled it out by hand using a detail pen there by Copic. And then I'm going to 3D mount that speech bubble right there where I want it. I'm using my tweezers there because it helps me see where things are going without blocking my view with my big fingers. And then I'm going to take one of these little hearts I punched out. This is an old Martha Stewart punch I've had, and it's got little tiny hearts, and I knew it would give me some of those little tiny hearts. And I'm just going to mount that with some more 3D dots into place. And then as one last finishing touch, I think it's fun to add a little bit of Ranger glossy accent. So I'm just going to squeeze that out, make sure I've got a good flow there. And then I'll go ahead and squeeze that on. And I try to create more of a big puddle and then spread it around with the nozzle. And then it goes on a little bit cloudy, but it will dry clear when it's all finished. Isn't that the cutest thing? I just think this is a really fun card. I could make a whole stack of these. I just think they're darling. Thanks for watching.